You know, one of these days, Nintendo's going to go out their way and say, hey guys, we're hosting a 6 versus 6 singles tournament, and we're going to go by this rule set invented by this really great website called Smogon. Don't know if you heard of it, but we're doing that. And then they're going to live stream it, and I could watch it and understand it and enjoy it. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we do not live in a fantasy world, and the only tournament that they are partaking in is obviously their VGC stuff, which literally couldn't give two shits about, but hey, at least it's something, you know, at least Pokemon is getting somewhere in terms of competitive stuff being, you know, more transparent to the wider world, and that's great. So, anyway, with all that preamble ahead, I'm NBZ, hello, welcome, this is a Pokemon video, and this is me trying to get back into the game, trying to relearn stuff, so let's kick it off. I have an Among Us, I see a Hydreigon, and the first thing that shoots into my mind is Fire Blast or something of that nature, so I want to get away, I want to leave this thing behind, go into Chomp, hopefully take that and maybe retaliate if he's Choice Scarfed or something like that. It ends up being a U-turner, probably lends credence to the Choice Scarf theory, and takes a nice little bit of rough skin damage on the recoil, so I like that. I'm alright with that, and Chomp can certainly take those hits pretty well. Goes into Mamoswine, which I am not... I'm not staying in on. Look, I've been out of Pokemon a while, but I do know that leaving Garchomp in on Mamoswine generally a bad idea. So I'm going to go into Charizard and, you know, hopefully take that Ice move well as threaten the Mamoswine on the switch. So be a bit aggressive here, you know, trying to force him out and put him in a compromising position. Now, I don't want to Mega Evolve just yet. I am Charizard X, but I want to keep him guessing a little bit. I do have Flare Blitz. I think some Charizard Ys carry Flare Blitz, maybe for the express purpose of killing some specific things, but also it's a nice little thing to keep hidden. Maybe you're one, maybe you're the other, and you want to keep that kind of under wraps, and that's what I wanted to do. So I keep things open, keep the guy guessing, and do a decent damage to Hydreigon on the switch. I of course actually have a really good thing to go to, which is my Azumarill, the all-purpose Hydreigon switch, being immune to its main stab and resisting its other. So I take the Dark Pulse with relative ease and decide I'm going to just play rough. You know, I could have gone for the Waterfall here, but play rough seemed like it was a decent thing to do, and ends up doing a decent chunk to the Escavalier. Now, that should have told me that this Escavalier is not defensive and is in fact choice banded, because I go into Bronzong thinking like, oh, you know, Escavalier, he's the guy who does Iron Head, right? Nope. 6th gen, everything is fucking knockoff, which makes Bronzong one of the most useless sacks of shit in history. I can't believe it. Bronzong had this, he was so great back in the day, and he's had this historic fall from grace, where knockoff is a key part, and I'm not impressed by it, I tell you what. Anyway, I lose Bronzong for nothing, so I don't get up Stealth Rocks, I don't manage to do anything, it just kind of just dies for nothing, and means I'm a little bit on the back foot. But what I do is I manage to switch into my Zard, obviously because he was banded and locked into knockoff, he's not staying in on a Mega, and I end up taking that opportunity to Dragon Dance up. He switches to Starmie. Now, the thing here is I wasn't sure that Earthquake would kill, I didn't think it would, so I ran a quick calc and I saw that Flare Blitz did between 94 and 111%, so I was like, holy shit, that's a good chance to be one-shotting this thing with a Flare Blitz, so I go for it, and it doesn't come anywhere close. I'm like, what the hell? Pokemon Showdown damage calc is not telling me the right things. But lo and behold, as you can see, I end up living the score with 2 HP. He has lefties. Clearly, this is a much bulkier variety of Starmie than I was calcing for. And, you know, that's why it lived. You know, there was a good chance that it was going to die there. But, man, it managed to hang on and push me right down to the low HP numbers. Now, in comes the Mamoswine. I was considering here switching to save Zard, but I was also wary of the fact that he may use that as an opportunity to set up Stealth Rocks, although it would be kind of dumb, seeing as I was at +1 and could just destroy him. So I end up just staying in, and I take it. I could have switched out. I really could have used a 2 HP Charizard for later on, tell you what. But no matter. I go into Azumarill, and I end up waterfalling this time because, you know, this thing's probably going to come in Escavalier, and wow, that's a lot of damage. Clearly, when Escavalier isn't invested in the defenses, it does not have a fun time out at the park, I tell you what. Now, if you are looking at the screen and you're expecting this Azumarill to be choice banded, you, my friends, are wrong. And there is a very specific reason I wanted to bring this Azumarill, because I decided to give it Expert Belt, and I thought that I want to do some kind of mind games here and play some tricks, and hopefully later on, pull out an Aqua Jet when my opponent least expects it, and kind of, you know, pull the wool over their eyes and be like, hey, you thought I was banded? Nah, man. Expert Belt, and that could be useful later for the Mamoswine. So, in any case, a Breloom comes in on an Azumarill. I know that as well. That's a bad thing to do, so I'm going to go to my Among Us and be a smart guy and sponge the bullet seed, no problem. Excellente. Also gives me a really great opportunity to spore something. I know the Breloom's not staying in. Obviously, it's something that can resist that or be immune to it even at this point. It's just ridiculous. But I knew he was switching. He could do nothing to me, so I put the Hydreigon to sleep. And here I make a silly error. I knew he was going to switch. I knew he was going to go offensively into Charizard, but I didn't go for the stun spore. If I had stun spored, oh man, this may have been quite a different game, but I whiff on that. I don't go for it, and instead I pull a double into a Azumarill, thinking, you know, maybe that would put me in a great position, but I then realized that looking at the composition of his team, he's probably running Charizard Y. So if I fucking stay in with Azumarill, I'm just going to get solar beamed off the planet, and that's just going to ruin me, because I really need Azumarill to Aqua Jet the Mamoswine to do some stuff later on. So I go back into my Among Us predicting the solar beam, and it does turn out to be the case. He is Charizard Y, he has Drought, he has solar beam, and he just pours it all on me like a soup that's really hot and is just super boiling, but of course Among Us protected by some heavy clothing, so takes practically no damage from it. The unfortunate thing being, of course, is it's Charizard Y, and its Fire Blast is about as powerful as a fucking Spirit Bomb. So I am just a sitting duck. I could go into Garchomp, yeah, but I'd still probably like take a solid 70% from that shit. It is unbelievable how powerful this man is. So I'm gonna end up going to Tundra Steroid. He's a great guy. And hopefully force something to just go away, because I wanted to really get the priority Thunder Wave in there, but I just end up going for it on the Mamoswine. It's just like, well, should have thought that through, really. Whatever. He ends up predicting me to go to Azumarill, because obviously staying in with Thundurus or Mamoswine is never a good idea, owing to Ice Shard. I decided to be a bit ballsy with it and go for the Hidden Power, thinking that that was a possibility, because I'd seen Freeze Dry before. So now I'm going to make the switch into Azumarill, opting on the fact that he has kind of mispredicted one turn, and he's going to fall back on the idea that, you know, I've mispredicted, I need to get my head back straight in line and Ice Shard this Thundurus out of the sky. So obviously I can make the safe switch to Azumarill and be pretty good. And then I decide, well, he knows that he needs Mamoswine, right? He really needs Mamoswine for my Garchomp and my Thundurus, otherwise they're going to kind of steamroll through the rest of his dudes. But he doesn't save it. And that was the reason I went for Play Rough, because I was predicting the Breloom switch in to take the Aqua Jet, and he just straight up stays in and freeze dries me. So I'm like, I've got to just waste my HP, and I could have Aqua Jetted him, and royal pain in the ass, and unfortunately just Azumarill doesn't pull it out. But now in comes the Breloom. I know it's going to kill me or spore me or something, so I try and get a little bit of chip damage with the good old Aqua Jet, but not going to matter. I fall asleep, and I'm now going to go into Thundurus, hoping to take a Bullet Seed. I need him to get like maybe 2 or 3 and I'll live, and then get something going, apart from the fact that I realize after switching in that Mach Punch is totally a move that Breloom knows, and it can kill me. So I decide to fodder off Azumarill instead. A little bit silly, and it's just kind of taking damage for no reason. Like, my Thundurus is now down for doing nothing, and also my sleep fodder is gone. But what it does allow me to do, once Azumarill's out of the way, is to go into my Garchomp, hopefully at this point take home the game, because I have him in my sights. I'm faster than Charizard, I'm faster than the Hydreigon, which is actually, I'm not faster than it, but it is asleep, and this Breloom cannot kill me. I have Fire Blast to roast it on the spit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just blow it up, get rid of it, and all I need to do is hit a Stone Edge, and then kill the Hydreigon with, you know, the Dragon move of choice, whatever that happens to be. So now he's going to bring in Charizard. I'm like, alright, that's fine. And then I kind of like, I don't know what I do here, but for some reason I decided it's a good idea to switch into my Thundurus. I can't remember why, but I did it anyway, because I thought, you know, I've got this game in the bag. I'll just go to Thundurus and see what he wants to do. Probably a little bit risky and stupid if you had like sub or some shit, but ends up just Dragon Pulse me in the face. I'm like, alright, come in. I'll go with Charizard. I will smack him with a Stone Edge, and then hopefully Hydreigon's not going to get some weird wake up, and I will be able to win a game, guys. I might be able to win a game. My oh my, wouldn't that be glorious and great? And for fuck's sake, are you serious, Garchomp? Did you do maths? Did you go to school? Did you even listen to your teacher when they were on the chalkboard doing 4 plus 4 equals 8? Did you? Well, I think you didn't. Because if you could recall, Charizard's base 100 speed, you were base 102. Do you realise that's a bigger number? What does that mean? It means you should be faster. But you're not. You're not faster. You weren't, and you... I'm done. I'm literally done. First break. That's this. Fair was so long, Garchomp. It was a good run. It was great, and it was great. But I love you no more. I bid you adieu. Farewell.